Chapters 7 and 8 of Detransition Baby. We get one in the future, one in the present, and one in the past. The one in the present happens first, Chapter 7, where Katrina goes with Reese and has sort of a girls' night in a way with her and various other trans women. And she confesses to them that she indeed did out. That result of her yelling at Ames in front of those other the clients, that did leak out basically that Ames was a trans person. Of course, as the way these things go, they think that she is a trans man, that she is someone who is born female who is transitioned into male, not this whole mind bending thing for straight cis people that someone would detransition back. And they're asking her, the HR person is brightly asking them about about bathrooms, like in gender neutral bathrooms, versus actually going to Ames himself and asking him what would be the best thing for him, just desperately not wanting to do that. um, and going like, he's a guy, he's a man, and the HR person going, I know she is, I know she is a man. It's like, oh god. So that's a little bit of comedy there. But yeah, all that kind of some more good conversation there, which of course it's hard to keep it stuck in my head as I'm reading it. Don't have really great. So yeah, there's all that, and then in the past, we get the kind of unraveling, so that she's that the whole thing of it coming out that um, I've been I said I've been fucking Stanley, and that continues, and that because of wonderful cell phone technology, Amy is able to kind of track Reese and know that she keeps on going to this other place, which she's not, when asked casually, she denies actually having gone to. Gets in an Uber with an Uber guy who they go through the whole thing of how to follow a car in Uber. You have to kind of input a second destination in because they're switching around. It's like all that catches up um, catches up, and it's like, and the bitch is wearing my dress too. And it's like, well, that's the thing I can get angry about. I can't get angry about the whole thing of you're cheating on me with a man, but I can get angry that you took my dress, and stomps up to her saying, I want my dress back. And yeah, unfortunately, unlocking the wonderful, wonderful homophobia in Stanley. That just, it's just bubbling beneath the thing of some guy who is getting his satisfaction being in a super dom relationship with a trans woman, and the second somebody else comes into the situation, and it's like, hey, you stole her from me, you took my property, and Amy getting so angry that suddenly it's like, yeah, let's go, bro. And unfortunately, Stanley then happily, super happily, is just really ready to explode at all times, in a way that you know Amy never was, and beats the shit out of her. And everybody stands around and watches, until finally, like, one guy actually does come up and helps her to a emergency care thing. Some guy, an older gentleman with a European accent. It's like maybe someone who's not of this American culture originally, and can treat somebody like a proper, decent human being. Um, and yeah, her nose is broken, and stops shaving, stops taking shots, and applies for a job under a male name, advertising company under a male name, which we know is going to be Ames. And that is sort of where the detransition thing happened. and their last argument being about not getting the shot, and him kind of roaring and like punching a cabinet, bashing it, and that feeling like righteous anger. It's like one of these. It's suddenly there's ways that it's like becoming a male has deadened him, becoming Ames has deadened his emotions, but to be a male and to access the anger, which is like, yes, you can access the anger is there. So yeah, yeah, that's Detransition Baby for these two chapters. A rare daylight appearance of this, but I figured I should try and get it in while I've got it in my head. Yeah, and yeah, not surprisingly, it turned out to be Stanley, the one who assaulted and beat Amy, and yeah, then just people standing around not doing anything. Because that's a bystander effect of like, oh, this isn't got to do with me. This is two trans women, in this situation. So it's not us, not us. There's that separation. Whereas um, if it was cis women, there would suddenly be white knights. There would be women who would say, oh, that could be me getting beaten. Um, yeah, that otherness that leaves them out in the cold. That leaves them out in the cold. It's interesting. In the present one was about all centered like they're getting together, but they're getting together just after a trans woman's funeral, and it was one of these observations of like, if it was a trans woman of color, it would have been because they got murdered. If it's a white trans woman, it's because of suicide. And yeah, in this case, it was somebody who was like a fearsome kind of rocker chick. But the weeks before, um, they weren't making themselves up. There was sobbing calls about like, how nobody loved them and they were all alone. And then, yeah, going over a bridge, smashed into something and died, and suicide by car. However much they want to kind of dress that up. And just sort of rhyming off all the checkpoints of, you got the dead woman's family, misgendering, dead naming her, um, and there's almost kind of a community thing of like, well, I didn't know her that much, but this is my responsibility as a trans woman to go to these funerals, because they sound like just like they're a part of our culture, in a way that death is not omnipresent for the most of us. Uh, us, most people, most things. I mean, the uh, the gay male society would have had that back in the height of AIDS, um, but this is very much societal murder. Whether that is getting trans people to kill themselves, or murdering them outright, from gay panic and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, okay. Detransition Baby. Another couple of episodes. More videos later.